round. We'll start with Susan to your right, Bob.
Bob, can you tell us yet who you have in mind to go in second after Liam?
Not yet. It's all going to be played by ear. We have a semi-script, but it just depends on what the situation will be. So it's a bit of a play it by ear.
The fourth row to your left, Bob.
Bob, do you notice a difference in confidence level heading into this wild card game as opposed to 2014, just given how strong you finished the season this year?
Two completely different situations. I mean, in 14 we were fighting for our lives. We were struggling at the end, and had to win the last game. Here it was completely the opposite. We had a good run from the middle of June, and we clinched a playoff spot early. So it's just a little bit different. There was a little bit more relief in 14 when we won the last game, but. And it's a different team on top of it, so it's tough to compare that.
And Barry, first row.
Hey, Bob. Can you go into the decision you guys made on picking Jackson as the lone starter as opposed to any of your other guys?
We just felt like he would be the best guy to be able to come out of the bullpen.
Ron?
Do you think you would have done this with an opener a year or two ago, or has the game evolved that quickly? And in your baseball career, what are the inflection points of changing your view of the use of relievers?
Well, for us to do this now, it's more about, who we have and how our bullpen was built up. So, it's from the middle of June on, we've been fortifying our bullpen. You have to go with what you think is the best mix. And here recently, we've been experimenting, so to speak, with an opener and then a starter. We've had games where it's been a complete bullpen day. So leading up to this, we were trying to look at how things were going, and we felt like we have a deep enough bullpen to be able to cover the whole game. And the one dynamic that didn't work very well for us, at least several games, was the bring in the starter, for the second to try to eat up some innings there. So we're just trying to do what we think is best for this particular game, and our bullpen is our strength. This year it started with Tampa, and everybody seemed to try to take a look at it and see how they could benefit, what their benefits would be from it. Certainly our bullpen is our strength. So we are a team that looked hard at it and started to make some changes. Before this year, probably not. I think it takes that first, look to, someone to do it, and then see how you think it'll go for you. And like I said, we've been experimenting a little bit here for the last month.
On the far left, fourth row.
Hey, Bob, can you just tell us about the qualities and the work that Matt Chapman has done to become such an elite defender?
He's had this ability for quite a while. I think it's the offense that really, for us, has come pretty quickly since he's gotten to the big league level. His defense, from the time he got here was off the charts and continues to trend in that direction. So he's just one of those special guys defensively that, has the arm strength to play deep, has the first step quickness, is very, very confident in what he does. He can play back. You bunt on him, it's tough to get a bunt down on him because he's so quick coming in. It's all the above. I haven't seen this many qualities in a third baseman really ever since I've been watching this stuff, and I've had some pretty good third basemen, and our third base coach is a pretty good third baseman himself, and Matt Williams, and he'll tell you the same.
Got a slew in the second row, Ken.
Bob, Buck Showalter's let go by the Orioles today. I know you know Buck well.
Yeah.
As a veteran manager, how much attention do you pay to the pretty dramatic turnover the last couple of years?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about just the evolution of the role?
Yeah, it has. There's no doubt about it. And I think in any industry right now, you have to look at how, change is coming quickly. And if you want to stick around for a while, you probably have to embrace that. So, I don't think Buck was a guy that ignored analytics. I think it was probably a combination of how they did this year and maybe some relationships. But it has been changing. There's no doubt. I mean, more teams are going to analytics. More teams are doing the type of stuff that we're doing and Tampa's doing right now. So if you want some longevity in this game, you better understand that you can't be too hard-headed.
Stay right there with Tyler.
It's maybe in a similar vein, but putting aside the opener idea, putting that to the side, relievers now get more innings than ever before.
Right.
Starters don't go as long. You came up when starters were valued a little more.
Right.
Why has there been this change, and why are relievers maybe now more important than ever?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's numbers. It's what the third time around the lineup gets pretty significant. And you even look at Houston; they probably have the best rotation in baseball, and their guys are coming out after the sixth inning a lot, and that's based on the numbers after the sixth inning and the impact relievers can have. Especially power relievers, which you're seeing more and more of, and especially that first time that they're facing somebody. So it's just a big change from the third time around to the seeing a power reliever for the first time. It's numbers. I do. I think there are times where you have to identify with a dominant starter whether or not the other team is pretty happy about him coming out of the game, but you're seeing less and less of that now. So as far as we go right now, we have dominant bullpen guys, and our starters have done a nice job. I mean, these are guys that we basically, in spring training have called in late, and they're a little later on in their careers, and they've had to acclimate to this type of style too. But they've done it. But the bullpen has definitely been our strength.
We'll stay in the second row. Nick.
Yeah, Bob. Your team doesn't seem to mind A, road games, or B, hostile environments.
Yeah.
Any reasons for those two? Or?
This is going to be about as hostile environment as they're ever going to see tonight. But you know what? They're just going out and playing and trying to win. I don't think they look too much into it. I don't think they're watching too much and listening to. Might be a little bit more pressure in this game. They'll feel it when they go out there, but offensively we've done better on the road, and I think that's one of the reasons. Our position players are kind of looking forward to hitting in this ballpark because it's a home run hitting ballpark and ball carries, and at our place sometimes can frustrate you, especially at night.
We'll stay right there, John.
Yeah, Bob, there's only 3 players in your lineup tonight with any kind of postseason experience. Do you have a feeling that, they're not overwhelmed by the moment, and what of their mindset, personality at this point?
Yeah, I think, if you've had postseason experience and you've struggled, then that can be worse on you than going in for the first time. I mean, they're just excited about playing. And so, until you go in, certainly there's some unknowns, but they're just excited about the venue. Yankee Stadium is a terrific place to play. They know it's going to be loud. They know it's going to be exciting. And I think they're looking forward to that and really not taking it any farther out than that.
On the end of the same row.
Bob, given the uncertainty at the beginning of the season, not knowing if you were actually going to get to this point, can you speak to the impact that Billy Beane had, the relationship you had with him throughout the season as they kept adding and, putting you in position to get here?
No, that's one of the biggest reasons we are where we are is, not only, do you look to how can you strengthen your team, but, there were some hurdles in front of us based on, our payroll isn't the highest, so how do you go about it the best? And, at that point in time in the season, relievers are just cheaper. And for the most part, you're paying 2/3 of their salary has already been paid down. So I think it was smart that we continued to try to fortify the bullpen, which, had gotten better and better as the season went along. So the more winning we've done, the more they've gone out and tried to strengthen our team. And even bringing in, Fires was key for us, too, after, Kelly and Familia and Rodney. So they continue to try to make our team better. We felt really good about the position player end of it, and we didn't want to mess with that too much. But, bringing in these guys and showing this team, and for the most part, a younger group until recently, really told them, look, we feel like you can win, and that gives them more confidence. Yeah, he's been doing this for a while. So, and, along with David and Dan Feinstein, we have a group that's around a lot. So they have a really good pull. So we were always talking. They're always communicating with me and the coaching staff and so forth. So they're very understanding where we are.
And to your left, up right here.
Bob, you've talked all season long about how loose your team is. From what you've seen today, have they been able to kind of maintain that looseness?
Yeah, I mean, we still got to go out and take batting practice and play and everything. But for the most part, they came in the same. The music's loud. It's unbearable at times, but it's a good thing. And the fact that it's kind of keeping them loose, and they haven't, shown any different personality traits today up to this point. No.
The inner right aisle, Ryan.
Along the lines of the atmosphere you're describing and anticipating tonight, do you prepare your team in any way? Do you focus on it at all with them for what they might expect here in the Bronx?
We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Today we'll treat like a normal day. There won't be any meetings other than some of the advanced stuff we're doing. They know what to expect, but until you get out there, you're not really sure. But I think they're excited about the prospects of playing in a place that's going to be loud and a very exciting place to play.
And third row left here.
How would you describe the impact or the boost that Laureano has given you guys since he came up, and could you have envisioned that he'd be your starting center fielder?
No, he has been fantastic, and you're not talking about one dimension either. You're talking about a plus center field. Certainly, the arm strength has been shown off very quickly. His ability to let balls travel, hit them the other way, have power, have some speed. We're not a real speed dynamic team, and he's added to that. So I can't remember, a guy that's come in that's been this unexpected to do as well as he have to this point and put himself in a position where he's playing every day. It's been pretty special.
Last question or two for Bob. Nothing else. All right, Bob. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.